The YCS 3 vs 3 tournament just wrapped up. No one's surprised fire decks have been topping. How often have they been topping? Like the top 32 or even the top 16 are fire decks. Flabbergasted because this is happening over and over again, guys. We are entering a tier 0 format, believe it or not. And what's worse is that we don't know how to counter this deck yet properly. We can come up with all these Shadow Fusion side decks, we can come up with Soul Release, but it's still not enough, and it's quite evident of how this event turned out. Before I proceed, don't forget, guys, to smash that subscribe button so we can enter this fire format together. And while we're doing the fire format, let me switch my background over here. But yeah, to touch up on the topic, guys, Phantom Nightmare and Age of Overlord, as you can see, the box prices are as well going up in price on those cards. They released some key cards that propelled this deck into the new era, the year of the fire. Man, it's everywhere. Locals, YCSs. Based on my own experience as not only a guy that provides content for this kind of stuff, but also is a duelist at heart and loves a variety of decks, loves to mix it up. I hate formats Nami produces that only profits them, you know, like, and that's what this is. We've seen this with tiers in the past. Zodiacs, yeah, we've seen them with Zodiacs, and as you can see on this page here, guys, look, I mean, there's some form of another, and it's not just the Fire Kings, it's the Snake Eye, guys. It's the Snake Eye that's topping the charts here. I think it's like, I believe, what is that, the top 16, 75% representation, if I'm not mistaken. The Jawari brothers ended up beating Team Sam, I believe, the Supreme Pro team, which is really unfortunate. I was kind of rooting for Pac. I didn't like the way he, I believe, acted when he won, and I think he was a little disrespectful, but whatever. Cockiness, I guess not everybody is humble with their wins and losses, so that's up to him. I'm not a big fan of players like that. I think that you should win with humbleness, because you wouldn't like it if you were on the other side of the table getting that kind of hand dealt to you. But yeah, so I don't want to talk about him too much. Whatever, his win, let him be. But you can tell here, guys, the prices of these decks are just ridiculous. I mean, we can go in depths here. It's a deck that's going to be good now, hit by the ban list, prices will dip on the cards, and then you just spend all that money and you're back to square one, basically. I know that OCG or even Asian English cards are way significantly cheaper. I mean, just looking at SP Little Knight, there's a super rare version of that in Asian English printing, but I know you can't use that. It's not legal because TCG loves making its money off SP Little Knight that's currently going for $120. But just looking at this, man, it's ridiculous. Like, look at all these decks, the top 8. It's all, there's a Voiceless Voice in there. That's props to Voiceless Voice. I really admire that kind of a deck, but it's a great consistent deck. But look, like, going down this list, everything is Snake Eye. Everything. We cannot enter compared to Voiceless Voice. That's like half the cost of that, which is, this is a good your deck should be. It should never cross into $1,000 for, man, that's way too much. That's a problem. A lot of players can't afford it. It's simple as that. And the Yu-Gi-Oh game should not be pay to win, because that's just a never-ending cycle of, you know, like, the next best deck is people gonna be throwing all their monies in. They're gonna be good for a little bit, and then it's a waste. So for me personally, I'm not a fan of that. Also, not a fan of Fire Kings, man. Like, with tier elements, there were some. The only, like, hand traps don't work. Let's just agree on that. There's a lot of different videos out there that say that use this hand trap or use this board breaker. I think board breakers are a little more effective against Fire Kings, but as of now, you can't stop this deck with Ash Blossom. Doesn't hurt it. If anything, it hurts you because they can take it away. Droll and Lockbird does not work. Nibiru, I mean, maybe like hurts it a little bit, but the follow-up is just so intense that it will overwhelm any deck that is not a Fire King deck, you know. So let's go into let's go into this guy's deck. Oh man, I don't even want that. Let's go into Pac's deck, because I don't want to go into look into this guy. And then 3 Snake Eye Ash, 1 Oak, 2 Poplar. Let's see, Flamberge, yeah, Jet Synchron, and then Joyous Spring. Look at that. Look at the size of the hand trap here, guys. 3, 6, 8, 11, 14 hand traps. No, 14. I'm sorry, 17 hand traps. That is insane. They need to do something about this format, and they need to do it fast. Konami needs to come up with a ban list to make this deck more balanced. I don't know if they want to limit Ash or hit Bonfire. Bonfire is a $100 card by itself, and it's a staple in this deck. You know what else? A card that searches out any level 4s, I mean Pyro Monsters. We got one for the Warriors, Rhoda. Rhoda has been at 1 since I started playing Satellarknights. I remember it was so like intense when it was at 3, and now it's at 1 and it hasn't come off of 1. Yet Bonfire is freely flying around as a 3-of in the deck. So this needs to be hit, and I think that that's what they'll do. That I'll do in a different video of what my ban list predictions will be, alongside with this degenerate card that's just way too accessible to these guys and way too powerful. This needs to go away. I mean, this is your only way out. I know Summon Limit is in a lot of people's side decks right now, but just going based off of this, and I'm not gonna click on their video because I feel bad for Sam because of cussing, but that's like a whole different conversation as well. All in all, guys, it's mainly a Snake Eye deck with a little bit of they don't even play the main guy, huh? It's just this guy's variant is just a pure Snake Eye. And as a result of these guys taking off, I don't know if you guys know this, but I have my own eBay shop set up now, and I started selling these cards. I did a case opening not too long ago. As a result, we can see the prices just skyrocketing on all of these cards. Midian Princess is going up in price. I remember I put mine at $25 on eBay, and people started buying it off right after the event. And I'm going up there and I'm like, what's going on? Why all of a sudden the surge? You will not find it below like $30, $35 on eBay. Going up on all these cards. The Voiceless Voice card has gone up in price because of how well it performed. And then as well as the Yubel card, doing pretty well. I believe like it will continue to trend up. However, if you do have these cards, I suggest to move on from them as fast as you can because the ban list is just around the corner. Ashen cards, as they are relatively cheap right now, but just like Cosmos when they came out, they will get more support and that'll propel them into the next format because of how effective they will be against Fire Kings. Fire Kings or Snake Eyes, whatever, will get a little bit of a tap on the wrist that'll kind of calm them down. So yeah, so all in all, guys, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to touch up on how cracked and how unfair this deck is right now in the format. Let me know what you think or what your opinions are about this deck. If you do play this deck, do you really think that this is a fair deck to play in this format? Does it cause you to kind of get bored of the format in a way because every opponent you're facing now is playing Fire Kings, or if you're on the other end and if you enjoy variety of decks, I hear that it kind of steers you away from even going to locals because this is all you're facing against now. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Needs to be more balanced because look at how many different archetypes there are in the game. It's never ending. How many amazing artworks there are and how diverse they are. I think that if Konami really wanted to bring everyone together, they should kind of show more support to all those archetypes and let the best duelist win that way, instead of just focusing on one archetype and just feeding it constantly to make it this giant powerhouse, not leaving room for anyone else, including myself, the guy that enjoys rogue decks, to kind of enjoy the game. That's all, guys. That's all I have to say. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to check out my other stuff, and always check in for my next live stream where I'll be cracking open yet another case of Phantom Nightmare. As always, Satellarknight is out.